Now I'm going to take you into a nice, relaxing meditation to help you to stop self-punishment. So just close your eyes now and take a deep breath in and out. Relax, relax, relax. In and out. Relax, relax, relax. Just breathe normally now. In a moment you're going to relax each part of your body, starting with the feet, ending with the face. With each part of your body that you relax, you'll go deeper and deeper, deeper and deeper, into a deeper state of relaxation, into a deeper state of meditation. By the time you relax your face, you'll be in a deep, relaxing state, a light trance condition. At all times you will be in full control. So understanding that, you just now allow yourself to relax your toes, toes relaxed. Relax your heels, just let go. Relax your ankles, ankles relaxed. Going deeper and deeper, deeper and deeper. Relax your calves, calves relaxed. Relax your knees. Let all the energy drain out of your knees. Relax your thighs, thighs relaxed. It's a wonderful feeling to let your legs go loose. Let your legs go heavy. Relax your whole pelvic girdle, stomach, solar plexus, chest and upper back. Relax your hands and your arms. Relax your shoulders, relax your neck, relax your face, and relax your mind. In a moment I'm going to count from 5 to 1. With each descending number you'll go deeper and deeper, deeper and deeper. On the count of 1 you'll find yourself at the edge of a riverbank. 5. 4, going deeper and deeper now. 3, 2, and 1. And there you are at the edge of a riverbank. If you can't visualize, just pretend. Visualization is a skill that develops with time and practice. Here you are at the edge of a beautiful, tranquil riverbank. Yes, you're just standing there observing the water as it's going past at the edge of a riverbank. Feel the wonderful tranquility as you stand here at the edge of the riverbank. It's so wonderfully peaceful. It's early morning, sun low in the sky. You see the water so soft in its appearance, so soft and cool. A beautiful blue sky creates a canopy of light, a canopy of love. You feel at peace, sweet fragrance of flowers in the air. There's a very soft breeze on your cheeks as it caresses your encounter. There's the sound of birds chirping as they go about their daily traverse. You feel wonderful. You feel relaxed. You feel drawn to the mystery of the river and the whispers in the air by angelic elementals as they welcome you into their domain. As you feel overwhelmed by a desire to explore the esoteric landscape here, on the emotional plane, you commence removing your clothing bit by bit, garment by garment, until you are completely naked here with all of your inner friends, your higher self, your soul and spirit, God, Goddess, all that is, your future self, naked right there at the edge of the water. It seems inviting. You're toying with the idea of wading into the water to lay on your back and have the current carry you off into the higher dimensions of the lower mental plane. You reason that you will be completely safe as you decide to exit the emotional body and to enter into the lower mental plane. This plane contains a lot of properties that are designed to help you to reach and stretch, to follow a sense of adventure as you realize that in the mental plane you can still perceive people as faces or collections of memories, and you want to explore these higher dimensions. So you go down to the edge of the river here in the imaginal realm of the emotional plane, where everything that you imagine comes to appear before you as you would perceive it to be physical. You feel the wonderful cool as you wade into the gently rolling river, up to your waist, up to your chin. Then you bob to the surface with your face above the water and you feel very buoyant. Here you are floating down the river, watching the trees overhead as they create a canopy of green. You feel completely safe, completely relaxed, wondering where your adventure is going to take you. You close your eyes and just allow yourself to detach from the physical body. You feel quite comfortable and safe, knowing that in this dimension there's only the concept of time and the concept of space, but they are only concepts. Your emotional body will therefore not be going anywhere far away from you, so you feel completely safe, knowing that the more familiar world of the emotional plane is only as far away as an awareness of your desire to be conscious in that world. So there's nothing to fear as you travel into these inner worlds. Your dense physical body and your vitality that you get from your etheric body will only be as far away as you opening your eyes. You will at all times be in full control. So just allow yourself to go deeper and deeper, deeper and deeper into a light trance condition. Everything that you imagine in this world as you float down the river on your back will appear before you as a person or ball of light or a feeling of love or a feeling of wonder. Wonder at the complexity of reality. The inner worlds are filled with excitement. For you to be able to dream your events into being as expressions in the physical plane. You have a wonderful sense of adventure as you float down the river and you hear the sound of running water or cascading water in the background. As you look up now into the canopy of green overhead, you see beautiful, loving, warming beams of light making their way through the foliage overhead. In this morning light now, caressing your face, you feel totally safe. As you imagine yourself into this dream, you notice a small strip of land between the river and a beautiful beach. The beach is being warmed by the sunlight. As you desire to be there at the beach, the river seems to arrange the currents to bring you close to the shore. You put your feet down on the sandy bottom as the water is up to your chest. You walk out of the water and up onto the welcoming warm sands of the beautiful beach. You feel the final caresses of the water on your body as it tingles its way down onto the beautiful sandy beach. There's a robe there for you to put on to guard against the cooling of the seaside breeze. You tie the robe at the waist. You feel beautifully at peace. You feel very relaxed in all areas of your body. Everything is beautiful and inviting. You want to explore the landscape. The warm sun is caressing you as if to be a welcome to the mental plane. You wish now to bring in the imagination of the emotional plane. You start to see specifics as a path appears right before you, in front of your eyes, as you expressed a desire to explore. The path leads away from the beach into the beautiful maze of trees, welcoming you as they wave their branches at you with help of the soft breeze. You follow this path as it meanders through these tall, lush trees on either side. You feel at one with nature, at one with the plant kingdom, feeling their enthusiasm at participating in your dream. It leads you up an incline, then down the other side. It seems to be a steady, even landscape. Around you now appear rocky ledges as you ascend into cliffs on either side, as you progress on your journey. You reason that this gorge must have been the path of a river ages ago. The clay track has now turned to rock, perhaps the bed of a river many, many centuries ago. The sound of falling water catches your attention now as it gets louder and louder as you progress upon the stone path. The sound of falling water is coming louder and louder as you feel completely safe. It brings to mind the history of that waterfall and the loving ways that nature sculpts the landscape. The smooth stone under your feet lovingly caress your encounter here on the emotional plane. The waterfall now seems so close as you stand on your tippy toes, as if to give you an advantage first glimpse of the beckoning waterfall. As you now ascend what seems to be the final obstacle, you get in your first glimpse of your waterfall. Over the hill, round the bend, and there you are. You are in awe at its beauty, surrounded by ferns on either side. Not a big waterfall in terms of the overflow of water, but it is beautiful beyond your words. The morning sunlight dazzles at the edge of the waterfall, the ferns and ivies on either side of the waterfall. You come close now to the edge of the waterfall and you find that there's a stony path which leads behind the falling water. You seek to explore the location and marvel at the existence of such a sculpture from the spread of the streaming river of ages ago. You see the water actually bouncing off the rocky path on which you stand and rolling down under your feet and beyond, finding lower ground. As you turn around now, away from the falling water, you see a secret cavern hidden by the falling water, and it seems to beckon you. And turning away from the water, you see a cavern. And as you proceed inside this wondrous cavern, you feel completely safe. And you find to your amazement that the sound of the waterfall seems to disappear in here, The whole place feels completely serene and quiet. On the far side of the chamber there appears to be a little alcove with a chair-like ledge for you to sit on. As you explore further, coming closer to the back of the recess, you find that it's a small opening. Where could that lead, you surmise? All at once you are there, peering into the void through the hole in the rear of the wall. As you proceed further into the hole, you find it's very deep. You hear the sound of echoes of the water, which seem to replicate itself like some giant conch shell. Here in this echo chamber, you have a perfect place for you to whisper on the wind of sound your desires to stop the self-punishment. The first thing that you want to clarify on your mind is, how do I punish myself? You now posit this question to the echo chamber. How do I punish myself? Now you listen for the answer. It'll come to you as a memory of your patterns of behaviour that were listed specifically in the preceding CD. In this place of such solitude and such privacy, you're able to remember to put all the various emotional addictions and habit patterns from the past into a coherent whole. The absolute peace of the place and repeats of this meditation will see you getting the answers. It'll just appear as a state of knowing within yourself. Listen carefully for the answers as they echo off these magical walls. Is it denial, or do you prefer to embrace rejection? Is it in the infliction of pain upon yourself to avoid the punishment of significant others? Perhaps it's been the refusal to love yourself and significant others. Do you have a penchant for self-ridicule? Or is it the ridicule of self through others? Do you punish yourself by denying the existence of God, Goddess, all that is? The answer comes to you now as a flash of understanding. You have it clear in your mind now, specifically, how you punish yourself. Now you turn to the question, why? You now know how you punish yourself. Now you want to understand, why do you punish yourself? Just posit the question in your mind, then cock your head as if to wait for an answer on the wind of the echoed sound. You start getting insights coming to you. You further posit the question, why do I punish myself? Is it because of what you've been taught from observation whilst growing up? Is it because you don't know how to forgive? Are you one who has become attached to the nobility of struggle that permeates our society today? Is it because you've become attached to your negative ego? Are you one who embraces its addictions to excesses as it revels at its control over you? Is it perhaps your natural need to know yourself? Why, you ask of the echo chamber? Tell yourself the truth. Have you simply believed that you were bad and needed to be punished? The answers come to you now from the deep recesses of the imaginal realm, where you have helpers in the angelic world. They help you to collate your thinking. Cock your head again to the wind of sound and listen for the answers as they come to you. As they come to you, you now turn to the beginning of the cavern where you entered in. Find yourself there now. Step through the hole and into the falling water. You feel the falling water cascading down your body as you throw your robe to the side. Feel the water cascading down your cheeks as you start to feel at one with the water. You let the water flush through your mouth now as you laugh and revel in the forgiving water as it washes you clean. Washing, washing, washing you as it washes away all the punishment and the pain. Washing away all the patterns of behaviour that have sapped you of your vitality over the decades. You feel cleansed and clean as you surrender to the hush of the imaginal realm. Feel the water washing away all of the reasons how you punished yourself. Then moves on to the why of this method of inflicting pain. Allow the water to just take it all away. You feel happy, you feel healthy, you feel terrific. You turn up your face into the water, your arms held high, embracing the water, embracing the change. Allow yourself to feel cleansed, purified and free. Feel yourself laughing as you embrace the cascading water, joyous, happy and free. Feel the presence of love caressing you as you choose to grow, as you choose to become more of who you really are, washed of all your anxiety, your fear, your stress and your pent-up anger. You turn your back on the water now and feel the water cascading down your back, down your buttocks, down your legs. You step through the water to the edge where it falls and you look down. There you can see that it falls into a pool that meanders away. You get the urge to dive into the pool. You feel so exhilarated. You see that the pool is so clear and so clean. So you swing your arms once, twice, 3 times and you dive into the water. Descending through the morning air, you splash gently into the water. And as you ascend at the edge of the pool, you feel exalted about the prospects for the future. You know and have identified your enemy. You know how. You know your enemy. You know the reason why. Motivated out of a desire to love and be loved, to be known and to know yourself. Motivated out of a desire to enhance your partnership with God and Goddess. Motivated by the prospects of creating your reality in accordance and compliance with your will. Now that you're on the path of embracing change, you can allow the intimacy of love from significant others, and you can allow yourself to be loved, known and understood. You look forward to expressing your feelings of joy and wonder and awe at the wonderful gifts that have been bestowed upon you by the Divine. And now it's time to come back into our space-time rule set. So on the count of 5, you'll open your eyes, and not before. On the count of 5 now, you'll open your eyes, you'll be wide awake, back in your room, but knowing that you are now different. You are cleansed and purified and transformed. 1, 2, feeling the energy coming back into your body now. 3, coming closer to the surface, closer to the surface. 4, almost there now, almost there. 5, eyes open, wide awake, full of energy, full of vitality. And now you go on into your new life to expand your understanding further. Free from your addictions, free from your patterns of behaviour, free from the pain. What we're going to do now is to have a look at some techniques that you can use to consolidate your gains. You can replay the meditation over and over from time to time, but it's important to know the hows and the whys specifically in your case. As you repeat the meditation, you will perhaps get deeper insights into your individual and specific method of doing self-punishment. Be open-minded to receive alternative answers in the cavern of echoes than what you initially received. Another factor to take into account is your interpretation of what responsibility means. Don't deprive yourself of love or fun in the name of responsibility. Don't beat yourself up in the name of responsibility. Remember, the antidote is to love yourself. There's a real paradox in metaphysics that drives a lot of people away, and that is that you are creating all of the events of your life, but others do have impact upon you. It's true that you have created it all, and that you are really punishing yourself through others. You are creating it all, but you also have created them having impact. You did this for a very good reason, and that is that you wanted to give love and to receive love. That's the way to make them real in your reality, is to love them and allow in their love for you. If you have trouble relating to the deep spirituality of my teachings, just focus upon what is practical in terms of the type of thought forms that you are creating. Realize that the events of your life are the expression of thought forms, nothing more, nothing less. That is metaphysics. Metaphysics doesn't have to be interpreted in a spiritual way. It can be explained as just the way that things are, just the way that things work. What is important is to realize that you are creating all of the events of your life according to the workings out of higher laws that operate in the solar system. It therefore seems logical that if your patterns of behaviour, addictions to excesses, and other ways of inflicting pain upon yourself are bringing about negative events in your life, then wisdom dictates that as a consciousness with feelings, emotions, fears, needs, etc., you owe it to yourself to fit in with the laws of nature, the metaphysical laws, that is. You have impact and others have impact upon you. They are the rules that all of us have to live by. We are in tune with the universe if we are working toward being more of who we really are, more of our truer self. It doesn't have to be a painful reality. But you have signed up for the course of incarnations, and you might as well make the most of it. Let in the fun, the joy, the wonder, the awe, the magic, and the miracles. The motivation for inner change must come from yourself. As you progress on the wheel of life, you become more conscious, awake, aware, and alive. You're a lot more intelligent and conscious than what you were 5 lifetimes ago. You must dig deep from your inner resources. Draw upon your willpower, determination, your sense of responsibility, and you can bring about change. The motivation is in your understanding. The more you know about the nature of reality and your place in that reality, the greater will be your capacity to draw upon your inner strengths, powers, talents, will to grow, reach and stretch, to become all that you can be and more. My intensives are designed to help you to attain that extra understanding and that extra knowledge, leading to that extra power. If someone has caused you to be hurt or to be angry, you must deal with those feelings, get them out to that person. Then when your emotions are settled down, you can focus upon the why of the events. If you try to deal with the why before expressing your feelings, you'll go into self-punishment. If you don't express your anger, if you don't express those hurt feelings, then the channels of inner dialogue are not clear. It's in the expression of those feelings that gets the energy out, instead of those energies focusing in. Those energies, when left in, are going to turn into self-punishment, in beating yourself up with guilt, shame, anxiety, and other forms of self-punishment. It's very important, however, to understand that the hurt or the anger do not have to be expressed outwardly to that person or persons. If that is deemed to not be practical, then the energies and the feelings can be expressed into the mirror, or just to be expressed within yourself. That is still the expression of those feelings rather than suppression. That can clear the emotions and get them out. Always remember that you are a work in progress. So in your reality that you experience now, express the feelings in whatever way that seems appropriate. Then you can deal with asking all the questions of why did you create those events. When all the channels of the emotions and feelings are cleared, you'll get an honest answer from your conscious mind. You are a multifaceted consciousness with many component parts of yourself. An infant, a child, an adolescent, a young adult, an adult, or a spiritual adult. If it was a hurtful experience, an experience that produced painful feelings, it was certainly not your spiritual adult who was captain of the ship. It was more than likely your child or adolescent who was in charge at that time. That's what life is all about, being centered in consciousness in your adult self all the time. Life is complex. You are complex. If you've given rein to your child or adolescent to act out through your body in a certain way, then that behaviour can be changed. The more you understand about yourself and the nature of reality, including your place in this reality, the more power you are giving to your adult. You are ultimately in incarnation to have your consciousness focused in your spiritual adult. The difference between the impact of the events in your life when orchestrated from the position of the adult, is that the impact doesn't hurt. So the rule of thumb is that if your reality hurts, you are ultimately punishing yourself, even if that hurt comes from others. By looking to the metaphysical reason for the events of your life, if it hurts, comes home to roost as self-punishment. Even if you want to beat yourself up because of saying the truth, it's stimulating to your consciousness because you have learned something about yourself. Those aha moments are the stuff of the soul. Inner change springs from those many awakenings. It's in those moments of total honesty with ourselves that we can see the garbage of our emotions, but it is exhilarating because you know that you can change it. You have that power through your processing. The excitement and the stimulation comes from being responsible. Being in your adult is acting in a responsible manner. When you're honest with yourself and when you are responsible, then solutions readily appear, because the energy flow is all in the direction of change, the final step of processing. When you are punishing yourself, solutions seem hard to find. You also develop momentum when you are moving in the direction of change. When you move in the direction of self-punishment, you produce stagnation and inertia. Also, an important outcome of being honest and responsible is that you get help from your inner friends, including your soul, spirit, and higher self. Even if they are difficult for you to relate to, being honest and being responsible produces metaphysical impact, moving you in the direction of change. It's all about momentum and motivation. You can see how understanding metaphysics leads to understanding yourself and knowing yourself, a basic human drive. It all leads to motivation and momentum. That momentum is in the direction of change and the honesty of responsibility. These inner friends may just be experienced as an inspiration and a feeling of hope and confidence that the future will be better than the past. Never lose sight of the fact that your soul, that part of you that produces consciousness, is the lens through which God and Goddess communicate with you and interact with you. It's the lens through which they can create impact. To condemn yourself and decide that you are a rotten lowlife that deserves to be in pain is neither responsible nor is it honest. That part of you that created that pain can be owned and can be forgiven. You can forgive yourself. The acts that they produced may have been despicable, but you are not. Nor is your inner child or adolescent despicable. They are only acting from a position of belief patterns which were passed on to them earlier in this incarnation. Retribution and punishment are not required. Forgiveness and healing follow on from honesty and responsibility. Self-punishment leads to stagnation, inertia, fear, and pain. Honesty, ownership, understanding, and responsibility leads to momentum and change. One leads to isolation and loneliness, the other leads to the development of your partnership with the divine, with God, Goddess, all that is. Remember that honesty and ownership mean telling yourself the honest truth about actions and impacts that you have had upon yourself and others in the past. Own it, deal with it, bring it out into the openness of the conscious mind, forgive yourself, then change. It all comes back to processing. Admit and own with total honesty, understand why, forgive yourself, and change. So let's look a little more closely at how do you stop self-punishment and how do you end the pain. First of all, you must ascertain in your own mind how you punish yourself specifically. With total honesty, look at your method of operation. You do this by realizing that negativity is dumb and repetitive. It works the same way over and over and over again. On the other hand, spirituality, growth and change are easy. You don't have to remember the lie that you are less than, not lovable, or don't deserve. All you have to remember is to love yourself. So the first step in stopping self-punishment is to know your enemy why you punish yourself. And the second step in stopping self-punishment is to know your enemy how you punish yourself. The third step is to take note before any action that you plan to take and ask yourself the question, what would a self-punishing person do in this situation? It leads to instant recognition then if the events start moving in that direction. It only takes a moment to take this inventory. You plan to take some action. Imagine which type of events would ensue if you were still in self-punishment. Then choose a different outcome if it starts moving in that direction. The question can be framed, what would a loser do? What would a winner do? What am I planning to do? Even a simple task like driving to work, ask yourself the question. The answer comes back that a loser would drive to work reflecting upon everything that's going wrong in their job or in their life, get all tied up in knots before even walking through the door at work. A winner would reflect upon how everything is going well in their life and how much that they are looking forward to the challenge that another day at work represents. When you're in pain, it means that you are creating events in your life that will provide you with an opportunity to change. You are creating it all. Check your motivations before you act. It's a constant task of listening to the whispers from the events of your life before they become shouts. If you refuse to listen to the whispers, you will hear the shouts. If you don't hear the shouts, you must hear the screams. Your reality is your feedback mechanism. The events of your life are your soul's way of communicating with you. It communicates to you through the metaphor and symbol. The events of your life are your memos from the front desk about changes that you are demanding of yourself. Your thoughts are creative. Never lose sight of that fact. The more intelligent, awake, conscious, aware and alive you are, the more powerful are your thoughts and your imaginings, your desire and your expectancy. This is why my intensives are so vitally important to your spiritual growth, because you learn so much about thought forms and the way that they work, and so much about the science of meditation, which is the science of the future. You have to become the bouncer on the door of your mind and the door of your imagination. What you imagine, you create. They become the events and conditions of your life. They are the rules that we have all signed up to. No one is doing it to you. You are doing it to yourself because you refuse to change through the joy, wonder, and happiness. But you are demanding change. It is the only constant in the universe. The only constant in the universe is change. You've created it all that way. Why? Because you wanted to learn how to love. You can only do that through impact. Impact from you upon your reality, and impact by others and events upon you. Learn to embrace change. If you determine that you punish yourself through your friends, change them. If through your job, change jobs. If through your residence, move. If you punish yourself through your blockages, process them away. Identify, own, forgive, and change. This life is way too precious to be lived out in a state of fear, struggle, hardship, and pain. You deserve better than that. You're not your blockages. They are parts of the not-self. You have placed yourself in a contextual field whereby you are creating yourself anew in every moment of the eternal now. You are a constant work in progress. You are in a relationship with everything and everyone else to determine, decide and choose which part of yourself you wish to show up in this moment of now. If the current relationship that you are in is your way of punishing yourself, then get out of it. If you are using the fear and the pain so that you can get to know yourself, realize that there's a better way of knowing yourself. If the pain and the agony of your life is your individual and particular way of feeling your feelings, change that pattern of behaviour. You are lovable. You can learn to love yourself. If there are patterns of behaviour that forbid you from loving yourself, then process those patterns of behaviour away. You deserve only the best in life. It's also important to take regular inventory of the impact that your addictive patterns of behaviour, your addictions to excesses, etc., are having upon others. What impact are you having upon your workmates, your friends, your relatives, your intimates? Because your self-punishment is not just having impact upon you. It's ultimately punishing others. Look first in the priority of changes to within. Change your addictions to excesses, whatever form that those addictions adopt. A very powerful way to end self-punishment is to ask yourself the question, what impact are my negative patterns of behaviour having upon those that I love? Be brutally honest with yourself. Your self-punishing behaviour is making you less happy, less healthy, less joyful, and that is having impact upon your loved ones. Being brutally honest doesn't mean being brutal. It's not time to beat yourself up. It's time to realise that self-denial, denial of fun, denial of success, denial of love, etc., is a pattern of behaviour that's in your past, not in your future. You are a work in progress. It's no good being angry with yourself for actions of your past self. That past self no longer exists. You have changed. But if you are still in fear or in pain, you need to steer yourself lovingly toward more change. It's time to be honest with yourself. But by beating yourself up, by developing that cancer or that back pain or that slipped disc, or by always being depressed, you are a drainer of energy upon everyone in your reality. You, the real you, is better than that. That is not the real you. It's time now to end the pain that self-punishment entails. It's time to let in the fun, to let in the success, to let in the joy, to let in the love. When you own the impact honestly, it motivates you to change. It motivates you to say, I'm going to stop doing this to me. I deserve better than that. It motivates you to own your negative ego, to own your impact, to let go of your denials, to let go of the fear, to let go of the self-pity, to let go of the depression. It's time to let go of the pain. It's time to start loving yourself. You cannot love another until you can learn first to love yourself. It's time to have high self-esteem, an esteem that's not false self-esteem of outside validation, an esteem that is based on living by your principles and values. Read good books or download CDs on topics like building self-esteem, positive self-image. You are a work in progress. You don't have to do it all alone. You have inner friends who are willing and eager to help you become more of who you really are. You have your higher self, you have your soul, you have your future self, and you have your partnership with God and Goddess. Work on the premise that life is a gift from God and Goddess. Your task is to learn how to receive. Let in your power, strength, and talent. Let in your goodness, truth, and beauty. Stop the denial. Stop the fear. Stop the pain. Good luck with your journey.